Yunnan Province, celebrated for its dramatic mountain ranges and varied terrain, is now confronting the severe consequences of widespread flooding that inundated multiple counties from July 17th through the 20th. The deluge, brought on by days of continuous downpours, has caused extensive harm to critical infrastructure and agricultural lands, as well as communities across the province, with and Poor being the most heavily impacted. Based on regional weather reports, vast areas throughout Yunnan have been saturated with rainfall amounts that dramatically surpass typical seasonal levels. In both cities and the countryside, the ceaseless rain overwhelmed riverbanks and drainage infrastructure, turning once modest mountain streams into raging torrents that tore through villages, carrying away homes, vehicles, and farm equipment, leaving a path of destruction and carving deep scars in Shaanxi City. Among the hardest hit regions, experienced severe landslides triggered by the heavy rain, which obstructed numerous vital transportation arteries, effectively cutting off remote communities and hampering the progress of emergency responders. Authorities have confirmed that dozens of road sections are now underwater or have sustained significant damage, including provincial highways connecting smaller towns to major commercial routes. Within the town of Ludian, a sudden overnight surge in water levels inundated low-lying areas in a matter of minutes, compelling thousands of residents to flee to the safety of higher ground. To the south, Wenshan Prefecture endured a comparable level of destruction. Thousands of mu of agricultural land have been completely submerged beneath muddy floodwaters. The deluge, brought on by days of continuous downpours, has caused extensive harm to critical infrastructure and agricultural lands. Within the town of Ludian, a sudden overnight surge in water levels inundated low-lying areas in a matter of minutes, were tragically swept away in just a few hours. In Poor City, located near the Laotian border, rivers winding through mountain valleys breached their banks, unleashing a cascade of flash floods. Multiple bridges were either damaged or completely washed away, severing road access to numerous villages. Rescue crews worked tirelessly through the night, constructing makeshift crossings and delivering essential supplies using both drones and on-foot teams. Farmers could only watch in despair as the rising waters consumed their crops and livestock, entier livelihoods. Carefully built over many years, the Provincial Water Resources Authority has issued several red alerts for the Pur and Jishuangbana regions, destroying rice paddies, greenhouses, and vegetable plots mere weeks before they were due to be harvested. In Yanshan and Funing counties, with floodwaters reaching chest height in some of the lower-lying districts, vehicles were seen floating aimlessly or piling up against obstructions, and public transit services were brought to a standstill throughout most of the city. The ground floors of numerous residential buildings were entirely submerged, triggering large-scale evacuations and requiring the deployment of inflatable rescue boats. Power has also been cut to many of the impacted areas as of July 20th. Emergency repairs were still underway on the local power grids in Jiaotong and Wenshan, where several substations remain offline from water damage.
Vehicles floated or piled up against barriers, and public transportation was suspended across much of the city.
In certain mountainous regions, communication networks were also temporarily severed, complicating coordination efforts between local authorities and emergency response teams. Fortunately, mobile service has been partially restored thanks to the deployment of portable relay stations. Rescue and relief operations are currently in progress, with over 10,000 individuals having been evacuated from high-risk areas throughout the province. Emergency shelters have been established in schools, community centers, and government facilities, providing essential supplies like food, water, and basic medical provisions distributed by the Red Cross and local disaster management agencies. Concurrently, military units and civilian volunteers have combined their efforts to clear debris reopen obstructed roadways, and fortify riverbanks with sandbags and barriers. Environmental specialists are warning that the situation could deteriorate if the rains persist, as the soil in much of the region is already saturated, which elevates the risk of subsequent landslides and flash floods. Satellite data indicates several unstable slopes across northeastern Yunnan, particularly in regions that have experienced seismic activity in recent years. The Yunnan provincial government has officially declared a level 2 emergency response, the second highest tier in China's national flood control system. Authorities are strongly urging residents of at-risk areas to maintain a high state of alert, avoid non-essential travel, and comply fully with evacuation directives. As Yunnan contends with the consequences of this destructive event, the full scope of the devastation is still being evaluated. Preliminary reports suggest widespread destruction of homes, schools, infrastructure, and farmland damage that could take months to fully repair. What is certain is that communities across the province will be relying significantly on both regional and national support throughout the difficult weeks to come. Thank you for watching Severe Weather, where we provide an in-depth analysis of the facts behind nature's most extreme phenomena. If you found this report valuable, please show your support with a like, comment, and subscription. Your support is vital for this channel to continue. Ring the notification bell so you never miss a factual, calm, and clear report. A note for our viewers: some footage in this video may be used for illustrative purposes and might not depict the exact event described. We will see you in the next report. Stay informed and stay safe.